Knee jerk, it's a knee jerk, and it's what I think of movies that I just saw, and it's all off the top of my head. It's a knee jerk movie review.
I'm not sure. I think it might be the Owlus Neus Jerkus. Something like that, I'm not sure. Oh, hey there. It's time for another knee-jerk movie review. I'm Keith Austin. A very windy Friday afternoon here as we catch the opening day of the big year. Big stars in the big year too. Steve Martin, Jack Black, and Owen Wilson. And I did some research and I thought, when's the last Steve Martin movie that really made me laugh out loud? Maybe just even a few times. I started going back, I went through some of the 90s stuff, and Bowfinger was in there, even House Sitter was pretty good, and then I was way back even in the 80s and had to go back to Trains, Planes, and Automobiles as a really super funny Steve Martin movie. And I've been a Steve Martin fan since high school. Ask any of the people I went to high school with how much of a fanatic I was on the old wild and crazy guy thing. So this, for me, a movie about some guys competing on birding, trying to get the big year, spotting the most species of North American birds that they could in one big year. So you'd think that the bird part would maybe be the backdrop on all of their shenanigans and chicanery and hijinks and all of that. Well, the birding was right up front, and there just wasn't a lot of comedy to go with it. So I went into it really rooting hard for Steve Martin to do something in the way of a dark comedy, or him to be the bad guy, or the schizophrenic wacky dude, or anything like that. But it just wasn't there. For me, this movie ended up being a very squandering of really great talent. I don't know why they didn't get a good script as a backdrop or a front drop or whatever you want to call it for the birding that was going on. It's a little interesting if you're interested at all in birds. There's a little bit of that, but I think probably a documentary about birds would have been more interesting than trying to center a comedy around birding. So not a lot of laugh out loud moments. Every single cliche you can think of was put in there. And there was a reference during the movie where they were talking about the bird. There was an episode with some birds and they said, oh, it's very Hitchcockian. And at that moment I thought, I wish I could just get up and leave now and go home and rent The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock, and I'd have a much better time. So let's get right to it, folks. It's time for some tough love for Steve Martin. Owen Wilson, he's always going to be Owen Wilson. Jack Black, you either get some good or some bad, but Steve, I'm going to have to give you some tough love here, and with our highest rating being Cartwheel in a Field of Daisies and our lowest rating being a stink eye, our first stink eye for knee-jerk movie reviews goes to the big year. I'm giving them the stink eye, and hopefully next time we'll get something a little better for our knee-jerk movie review to review. In the meantime, I think I'm going to go, I think I just spotted Steve Martin's agent. Yeah, I'm going to go assault him, see if maybe he can find something better for Steve.